But yeah, it's definitely a weird situation to have to deal with this all the time over and over again. And to your point, um, I guess we kind of can just go ahead and segue over to relationships. Um, Definitely relationships between our friends and family is kind of like what influences us to believe what we believe a lot of the times. I think the older we get, depending on if we choose to fall out of that mentality that everything our family tells us and our friends tells us is like the thing that we should believe in. I think if we get out of that mentality, then we're able to create our own worldviews. But it's kind of hard to do that if you don't move out of your town or if you don't get out of your friend groups, get out of your family groups to experience all the different things, which um, I'm thankful for because my family, military family, just like y'all two's as well. I'm not sure if you guys have the same point of view as far as moving around and be able to meet a bunch of different people and experience different lifestyles and whatnot. But I'm really appreciative of the opportunity my parents gave me. Um, so with that, we're gonna jump straight to relationships. So I kind of want to talk about like what makes a relationship good, what makes it healthy. Um, I know we have a bunch of different ideas. I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen a lot of other people's relationships. I've experienced a couple of relationships, mainly just like friends and family. I just want to talk about friends and family, not like significant others or anything like that. Save that for another day. Um, but yeah, I feel like just probably just this past couple years is when I really started to focus a little bit more outside of myself because I've been so into doing the sports I was doing for throughout high school and in college and also focusing on getting schoolwork done and all that. And so now I'm trying to like really get get in better contact with the people that I really do appreciate. Like it's nice to be able to get closer to you guys again. Talking to Stefan and Maurice and all those guys, and then even some high school homies. Talk to them, start gaming with them again. So just curious what you guys think is like a good healthy relationship, like with boundaries and all that stuff.
Want to go first, like it?
All right. I know it's going to be a little cliche to say this, but I do think it is kind of a 50-50 situation. And I think that whatever may have you, like you said, not specifically being relationships between significant others, but whether it's between like a parent and a child, or two friends, or siblings, or cousins, or even like coworkers, I think that mutual respect is necessary for any type of healthy relationship, and the ability to communicate, just be honest, open, you know, difference of ideas doesn't necessarily mean that you have to hate each other or argue all the time or whatever. But uh, I think it's important to know what the other person expects from you and vice versa, and whether or not you feel comfortable bringing that to the table or whether or not you're able to. And if you're not able to, then you need to communicate with that person instead of pretending that this is what you want just in order for you to get something out of it. You know what I mean? Then, because I think that's unhealthy, is saying that you want to give somebody what they want out of a relationship just because you want certain things that you wouldn't get otherwise.
Mm,
That's definitely a sign of a toxic relationship. But you know, I don't want to get too deep into that specific area of it, but I do think that communication is key, and respect is definitely something that needs to go both ways for a healthy relationship,
mhm,
regardless of who it's between.
yeah. How do you feel about the whole parent-child dynamic as far as how do I want to put this? Okay, for example, one thing I've noticed, um, depending on the parent, depending on the child, the younger you are, the less your parent listens to you for certain things. Like there's like a knowledge base, I guess, pretty much a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
They have all this knowledge, they have experience, they know what they're talking about usually. And then the child is just less experienced, less knowledgeable. How do you feel about that dynamic as far as I'm going to listen to my child to see what they're actually saying and trying to respond and respect how they're feeling, what they think about the world and all that. Because a lot of times, and I kind of seen this with myself too in my relationship with my parent. Well, not so much. We didn't really have any bouts, but I've seen relationships where it's like whatever the parent says goes, which to a certain degree I agree with that. But I think there's kind of like a threshold where it's good to listen to your child. That way, one, they can grow to think on their own. Two, they don't just let people just push them over all the time, which like a lot of that stuff, um, a lot of situations that happen outside of the family household with other people is concentrated on what happens within the household. So pretty much the same way you act with family, it's typically how you might act with people outside the family, if that makes sense.
So I think
Kind of
I
got.
agree with you to a certain. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't want to. If you got something to say, I don't want you to like forget it. So
No. I had what I was gonna say, but I'll say it. I kind of got partially what you were saying. There is a point where parents should actually listen to their kids, but most of the time, if it's just like non whimsical things or things that don't really make too much sense, then yeah, you can correct them. But
Hmm.
if it's like, say your kid's seen something and then you just kind of want to disregard it. Oh no, that won't happen. That I don't think you should like disregard that.
Yeah,
Like especially if it's something um that's I don't want to say maybe situational. Like some kids like repress memories
yeah,
and then they like change it. Like I've seen like psychological shows. They'll say like the clown came into my room and did something to me or something, or the smiling man comes to visit me at night. And things like that. Like what does that mean? It's normally has to do with some shape or form of child abuse,
hmm,
because they take that and then they repress it to something that they can understand because they cannot um, interpret what's going on at that point in time. So
right.
if your child is speaking to you at that moment, you kind of want to see what's going on with that, because you don't want anything to continue on to you know hi Steph, to damage your either your relationship with your child, because like if it keeps happening to them and you don't believe them, then that's going to damage the trust between the two of you, or uh, that'll cause trauma later on. And then, like you said, as they get older, they'll either continue doing things like outside of the family, or you know uh what am I trying to say here?
They might drift away or they might not.
It might, yeah, like a lot of bad things could happen, or it could damage future relationships that they could have. Like healthy relationships could go bad
Yeah,
simply because none of these things that happened like during the childhood or when they were younger even um weren't resolved. So,
okay.
and I think I
I
trailed
kind of
off, but
no, you're good.
but yeah,
I
go ahead.
definitely I'm picking up what you're putting down. I definitely agree with both of you to a certain extent. I do think it is, or it at least should be situational. Because obviously, like kids are gonna be kids. Kids don't know certain things about the world, and that just comes from a lack of knowledge, experience, and understanding in general. And sometimes kids just want to do goofy stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're like to play pretend and all that. So you know, like I think it's situational. I think in regards to like keeping your child safe, then yeah, you should definitely play the parent role and things like that. Like hey, like if you got a 5-year old and he says, hey, I want to go play in traffic, obviously like no, this is not going to be a conversation. I'm going to tell you no, and that's going to be the end of it. You know what I mean? But uh I think as far as like figuring out identity and just figuring out who they are. I think that children need to be allowed to express themselves, um, and be who they want to be. Like I don't believe in basically trying to make your kid a miniature version of you.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So just because, oh, well, there's something I never got to do growing up, I didn't get to play college ball because I busted my knee in 6 places, you know what I mean? And now I'm going to make my kid do it. Like, if your kid wants to do it, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
But
okay to
don't be out
expose
here
them
trying
to
to,
Living vicariously through your kid.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
expose the kid
yeah,
to the things that you're interested in. That way you can generate a common interest and actually have a relationship based around that thing. But if
yeah,
they're
and,
showing like not liking it, disliking whatever that thing is, and just let them
Hmm.
fall off of that.
yeah, and
I
not,
can.
and then, uh, another important thing too is if you try to expose your kid to something to gauge their interest, and then they end up not liking it, it's also important to not let that disappointment manifest and then take it out on your child. Be like, oh, like I took you to this expensive basketball game and you weren't even paying attention. So now I'm gonna be like passive aggressive to you and just all around rude and whatnot. And I'm like, no, okay, that's not good either. But I think I think it's definitely situational, and I think that when a child is younger, there definitely should be uh, you know, a difference in the type of relationship. Like obviously, like a parent should be more strict. A lot of the decisions when your child is younger should be based on like safety or just general care for your child. But when your child starts to get older and starts to develop, personality, and they start interacting with more people in more places outside of your house, I think it's important to listen to what your kids do like, don't like, how they feel. You know what I mean? Um, not project, not try to project your hopes, dreams, failures, all that onto your kids.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, to sum it up, I basically think it should be situational.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to listen to some extent in any situation, and then respond, you know, however you feel like you need to.
Hmm.
So,
Okay. What's up, Steph? You there?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say about my son real quick, but I got to say, podcast started at 6. My bad. I was playing some Transformers. I had a tournament match I had to play. I did win though, so there's a plus. But yeah.
The plug.
And then I looked at the top. I was like, oh no, it's podcast. Damn it! Shoot. But no, I was just gonna add in about my son in terms of everything. Everybody was saying I agree. The only thing I'm going to slightly, not even necessarily disagree with, is my son will be in the gym and know what health and fitness is like. We both, me and my girlfriend, both have big people. We got some people that like to eat on both our sides of our family, and that's okay. But so what I mean by that is when it comes to not necessarily bodybuilding and everything, your genetics plays a part in everything. No
Hmm.
matter, I think one thing people do too much of is looking at the next guy or the next girl, respectively, and like, man, I wish I had that body, and man, I wish I had this, had that, of their whatever. Realize, man, what this one guy I watch on YouTube says is like, you just picked the wrong parents. So blame yourself for picking the wrong parents for your genetics. That's really what it all comes down to.
Dang.
So that comes full circle. He always it's a joke, but it's like when you think
Yeah.
about it, it's like, yeah, I mean, nothing you could do. Like, did you pick the right parent? No. Don't expect to have X type of body. Simple as that. You do the best you can do for your genetics, and then you're gonna have to be happy with it, and that's it. And outside of steroids and stuff, of course, that can be skewed a little bit. But anyway, what I'm saying that comes around full circle is my kid will definitely know what it is to be into health and fitness. Being that I was always not necessarily heavy set back in high school, but I could put on weight easily. And then relationships and everything in between after high school, and I blew up to 353 pounds. Knowing what it's like to be like that, it is like I had, for example, I had shin splints for the longest time, and I would go
Mm.
to the doctor, wasting a copay and everything, going to the doctor, and doctor's like, just ice it up, this and that. So it's such a waste. And I'm like, ice, man. I was like, man, my shins really hurt. This is whack. Yeah, dummy, because you weigh 353 pounds, so your body trying to hold, your legs trying to hold up all that weight. So started losing the weight. Sure enough, shin splints just went away. And so I don't want my kid to be like, especially because, like I said, with our genetics, he could potentially just latch on whatever he eats. I don't think he'll have a high metabolism, but I want to be able to mold him to know what health and fitness is.
Yeah.
And if he decides to still do that and wants to go to the gym and stuff, bet. But if he wants to be a nerd, and I say that with love, he wants to be a nerd or do whatever when it comes to computers or whatever, he's gonna be a strong nerd, and he's always gonna know about what the correct things to put in his body, and he'll know the difference from not giving him soda and giving him all these things, setting him up for failure when it comes to your health in the long run. So it's just not going to happen. So like I said, even if he doesn't want to be in the fitness, in the end, he'll still know what it is to be fitness. And then if he ends up getting fat, be like, hey, I told you, you spent how many years of your life going with me to the gym, doing workouts and stuff, little 30-minute workouts or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I'm not going to be mad at him if he, ends up doing that. But all you can do is tell him, like my mom told me, all I can do is tell you. Whatever you decide to do after that, that's on you. Deal with the consequences, whether they're good or bad.
I agree with you, but I think that's a little different because that's health based. You know what I mean? So I still see that as like taking care of your child.
That's just one of those things. Well, because most parents don't do that. But I meant like, and when I say, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what you're saying. I just want to add on to like another portion of that. It's like I don't want him. I would love for him to be in the bodybuilding with me because we can do that forever. That'd be dope, father son. But if he don't like be into it like I am, that's okay. But at the same time, he's still gonna have to know what it is to be. You know what I mean? Work out and all that stuff from the gate. So
that's all I was saying is that I don't see anything wrong with that because that's a health thing, and I don't see that as something that's like detrimental. You know what I mean? I was saying like projecting onto your kids in a sense of like, I don't even want to say like necessary to life because I guess that could be taken in like a billion different ways. Yeah. But just like,
real quick before you finish, I don't want you to think I was talking against you. I'm just adding on to what you were talking about because I agree.
No, I know, but like that's okay. I know, I got you. I'm just saying that like, I'm talking in a sense of like interests, like hobbies. Like I don't think. Like, yeah, I guess being healthy and staying fit could technically be considered a hobby, but that's not really the kind of thing I was talking about. I'm saying more in the sense of like, if your kid doesn't like Transformers and he likes I don't know, he likes Duel Masters.
They'll try to force him to play Transformers and be mad at him and take it out on him, and like our life is like different and I treat him differently because he likes a different card game. Yeah, I agree. I agree. No, you're right. That's definitely what I mean. I'll be kind of like tight about it, but at the same time, I'm not even gonna worry about him trying to be in the cards or whatever he is. I'm definitely gonna let him rock. And when his life is molded and he's 18 and out the house, I'll be like, hey man, you chose this life. I told you a couple things. I'm not gonna let you do nothing insane, like like you said, jumping in the street and doing a whole bunch of stuff to end your life. But everything else, be like, hey man, this is the path you chose, so don't get mad at me. Then you have to choose a different life path if you're not down with this. So, but it's all love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all ain't gonna let y'all kids do what y'all did as kids?
No.
That's another one. You know what?
Like
Nerf guns.
I did too much.
Is a big one for me.
That's the ultimate slap to me.
I did too many wild things. Like looking back, I got lucky. I jumped downstairs. I did backflips off a trampoline. Didn't break my neck, fortunately.
Yeah.
Landed on fences. No, I can't do that.
Bro, I think
one small thing for me is Nerf guns. My mom didn't let me have Nerf guns in the house, but yet still, she didn't realize I was playing Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat they ripping people's heads off with the spine, and it's way worse than a gun because I think I'd rather die by a gunshot than having my spine ripped out with the head.
Bro,
when you
life, I'm trying to see that.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I'm being funny, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's just like. Yeah. Like the thing is like she wouldn't let have guns in the house because she swear up and down that's what I would turn into. Mom, I'm not in an environment where I'm in the hood. It's all about where you're product of your environment. We are on the naval base. I'm protected. That's not gonna happen. Just playing with Nerf guns in the house ain't gonna do nothing. But it didn't matter no way because not like I had anybody to play with. It was just my mom, and it ain't gonna be shooting my mom so she could slap me. So I mean, like it wasn't gonna. It didn't benefit me at all because I didn't have a little brother or sister, and we were always outside playing. So playing Nerf guns outside ain't ideal because it's better to shoot a Nerf gun. And I'm going deep into this unnecessarily now, but when I think about a Nerf gun, I don't want to be outside shooting Nerf guns. We're gonna lose most of them shooting outside because ain't nobody trying to run and go pick up the bullets. It's way better in the house. So I say that to say it's definitely gonna do the Nerf gun thing. Me, Jazz, and Jace in the house shooting each other up. So yeah.
Now, I will say this, and again, this is not something I'm not intending to get super deep with the statement,
Yeah, it's all good. So it's
but
about how you raise your kids after that. If you want them to go shoot guns and stuff after that, then that's a different story. But that's not happening.
well, I'm just saying, like in the sense of like your mom, and just like thinking, because again, like I don't know the reasoning behind why your mom felt the way she did about Nerf guns, but a possibility and something I know for a fact that certain parents do feel this way is when you do have kids who are playing outside with Nerf guns, which is sad to say, but they do get pulled up on, and we got kids out here getting like actually shot for holding toy guns and stuff like that. So I do see where certain parents get that perspective from. Say that. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with it because we shouldn't have to be afraid to play with Nerf guns. Like we should just be able to play with Nerf guns and everybody just have a good time. But some kids do get shot outside by people for holding Nerf guns. So I do understand certain parents' fears and stuff like that. Again, not saying I agree with it, but I understand.
Thank you.
So
100% agree with that. And like you saying that, I mean, that's all the more reason why we're not going outside with the stuff. To be mistaken for a real gun, especially with the color of the skin. Don't need no cop trying to pull up my kid. It's a real gun. So as you point out, because like I said, Nerf guns will stay in the house.
yeah.
So, very good.
Word. Cool. All right. So still kind of staying on the same topic. I'm curious what the relationships that like how we view our relationships with our siblings, because I know I can speak for myself. My relationship with Kel, my brother, has changed so much since from when I was a kid. Like before, it was just like Kel was just a plaything to me. We just have fun together, play video games, chill out, watch TV shows, whatever. But like now, definitely, and it makes sense because like we get older, we experience different things, we know how to connect a little bit better. Um, Definitely more life experiences allowed me to feel a little more comfortable and better relate to my brother. So I'm kind of
Right.
curious how that has gone for y'all, because I know I've heard from you since you talked about how y'all used to fight a whole bunch back in the day, and then like now it's a little bit different. Like just have a more of a respect.
Yeah, it's more of a understanding thing.
Hmm.
Um, we both gone through like different things growing up, but I was always supposed to be like the uh protective brother, but things don't always play out the way it does, but I always did, like when we were younger, um try to look out for him. Like there's numerous times where like I tried to watch over him, especially like if we were like going out swimming, because like he's way more riskier than I am. Because like he'll jump out in the deep end and won't even know any better,
Yeah.
and then have to help him, make sure he doesn't drown, things like that. Like there's one occasion where we were in this water park, and he got knocked off of like a big old water balloon attraction or something like that, and then um I went to go help him, and I remember shouting at him. I was like, "Yo, get up, get up!" And he's just sitting under there, and I was like, so I pick him up, and him trying to breathe, he's pushing me under the water. I'm like, "Yo, come on!" I, I know I'm not gonna drown trying to help you. But that's one of the stories I'll tell a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, now more than ever, like I guess a couple of years ago, our relationship was like one of the strongest it's ever been, because like I guess we started hanging out more. That's when we were playing Smash, going going to the tournaments and whatnot, and that was pretty cool. And now we're just kind of like doing our own things now.
Yeah.
We stay in contact every now and then, but he's all over the place right now. Yeah, he's trying to promote his music, so that's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Hope it works out tenfold.
Don't know what
We
happened a while
lost
ago,
a
but
Can you guys still hear me?
yeah, we can still hear you.
yeah.
Okay, let's make sure.
All right, now Sinto, you just disappeared.
Yeah, everybody
I'm here.
just kind of dipped.
You
Everybody
just
blacked
took
out.
me.
Like I got the 2 squares of
Can
doom
you
on
hear
both
me?
of y'all.
Yeah, okay, you're back
Yeah.
again. Dude, I
Oh,
don't know
there
why
you
it
guys
does
go.
that.
So
What
he
happened?
just took me with him. I was fine. It's fine on my screen.
Oh.
What all did you get out of that, Liggett?
Basically, I got like 3/4 of the way through the swimming, but it's good. Y'all don't gotta backtrack for me.
Well, I want to move to you next, and then if you guys want to ask questions, man, ask questions. I want to be the only one asking questions.
um, so basically, like when I always kind of played like a similar protector role. You know what I mean? Obviously, just because of how my household was growing up, and I definitely kind of leaned more into adult responsibilities as I started to get older, to like 14, 15. You know, so I was treated less of a child at that time and more of as an adult. Um, but there's always this kind of this silent thing. It's like all my siblings look to me like I'm supposed to know what I'm doing and what they should be doing, and I'm just like, bro, like I'm out here figuring it out. Like I'm at least y'all can look at me and decide how you do or don't want to screw up.
Yeah.
Like I'm the experiment because I'm the firstborn. but uh but nah, like we used to be like really really close when we were younger, but I think it's because like we moving around so much, we didn't always make friends super easily.
Hmm.
Especially like we have very different personalities. I'm a lot more extroverted than any of my siblings, so it's easy for me to socialize and make friends and whatnot. Versus my siblings are extremely introverted, so they would kind of just. It was almost kind of like I don't mean this in like a disrespectful way, but at certain points it would almost kind of like it was like they were at my ankles, for a lack of a better phrase, I guess. And so and now it's like we all kind of branched off, and I moved out, and we all grew up. We feel different ways about different things. Now I know that if I'm somewhere and bleeding in a ditch, they'll come pick me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna let anything bad happen to them, but I wouldn't say that like we're super close at this point in time. Like I can't tell you what like Neil's favorite color is, but I can tell you like the types of like anime he watches and stuff like that, and what he likes to eat, and whether or not he would like doing a certain activity or something like that. So,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
I don't know. My relationship with my siblings is weird.
Yeah,
So,
that I understand that, and like pretty much like I felt the same way, and like honestly, that's one of the things I'm trying to change a little bit more now, because like um kind of similar to you, I lost my grandmother one of my grandmothers this past year, and so like seeing that and then seeing how my family's reacting and all that, I'm just like, oh yeah, this stuff is short. And so I kind of want to make
yeah,
sure that I do make those connections with the people that have actually been there for just about forever,
yeah,
that I haven't really had to question or anything like that. And I feel like it's definitely something I want to dive into a little bit more. And I feel like since I've been back home with my family, that I've been doing it a little bit more. A little spotty at times, but it's definitely trying to do some more. But Kel just wants to sleep all day, so can't help with that. But it's
yeah.
all love though. Got anything you want to ask Stefan?
Yeah, with me and my sister, it's kind of simply put, 13 years apart. My mom had sedasia. Obviously, like I said, when I was 13, and at that point, yeah, just starting out to be a teenager, I am not trying to all of a sudden had to be put on me to watch, my sibling. Uh, can't go outside. And even when we go outside, I have to like cater to her because not like she can just come running out with me because she's not, 5 years younger than me, just a couple of years younger than me. She's a whole 13 years, younger than me, and I'm 15, 16 now with a 2, 3 year old. Got to take her outside, give my mom a break from, work and all this and that. So me and Sadasia never had a great connection. I still beat a homie's ass for her, obviously, always. I always protect her. But like we, in terms of like that closeness, we don't have that, and we still don't have that. But we're still cool. Like we still talk all the time. Like there's no issues or anything. But it's definitely not as close as it could be. But like I said, 13 years apart, that's asking a lot. My mom, tried to get me to be more, in connection with her and stuff. But again, when I was young like that, I wasn't trying to hear that. I was trying to
Yeah.
go do my thing, and so it came at a. I want to say when I say a bad time, say that with love. It came at a interesting time. There we go. Came at an interesting time in my life where I'm just branching out. Wanting to move out, get me a job and do for myself. Big into Yu-Gi-Oh. Traveling all across the country to play that. So with focus on that and just becoming a young adult, there was no time that I wanted to spend, talking about trying to. Okay, I was gonna say trying to have a sister. That sounds bad, but that's not exactly what I mean. But
Yeah.
like I say, just didn't have the type of relationship with that's such a stretch of time, and that happens a lot, I think, with siblings, unfortunately. But we still cool. So and everything's all love. She is going through some things right now. I wish I was there for it to be able to like help her lose some weight because she's gained some weight, and if I was around, definitely help her kick back in the shape. Same with my mom too. Both of them, to be honest, they can be my guinea pigs for when I become a personal trainer, whatever that is. So help them get in the shape because my mom, they really want to do it, and it's really just about accountability. They know what they need to do. I feel like everybody knows what they need to do. It's just about staying consistent, and sometimes motivation isn't it. I think you need to have discipline. Discipline beats motivation. Discipline is greater than motivation because you need to treat it like the fact that I don't want to get up to go to this job, but you got to go to that job because you got bills to pay and things. You have bills to pay and things like that. So you have to treat it like that. And unfortunately, your motivation is just not going to come until you're ready to do it. The best personal trainer in the world, the person that you want to look like, could look you in your face in real life and try to give you the biggest pep talk. And that might help you for like a week or two. But if you're sincerely not ready, it's just not going to happen. So, you go at your own pace and you just realize what you're getting into if you don't get into it. So don't get mad at yourself or be mad. I mean, I'm hypocrite because I'm mad at myself sometimes too. I'll, eat bad or overeat sometimes. And hey, I think it's definitely, I don't want to get big into it. It's like chemicals in your brain and stuff. You have like these gray areas and stuff. And like, you just don't care sometimes. And you're eating bad and you still just don't care. So it's when they say it's a battle within yourself, it's sincerely a battle with yourself. Like no joke. It's about nobody else. You're not trying to bench press more than the next guy next to you. You're not trying to, be better than anyone else but yourself. So it's cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I wish I was there with her and well, both of them closer anyway. We're only about 2 hours apart, but especially with COVID right now, 2020, I don't think we saw each other once, maybe earlier in the year. But besides that, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, when we went to go see my grandparents, yep. When I went to that tournament in Florida. So, yeah, I just wish I was around to help them out and keep them on track and see a soda in their hand, knock it out their hand. No. But God willing, they'll get it done. I mean, they both want to try to lose weight and stuff. So, I just, I guess I probably should make more of an effort to kind of like what Tevin was saying with reaching out and like being more in tune with your family and people that have been there. Of course, my mom been there since day one, obviously, and not having a father in my life, my grandfather did a great job, but he was always there like a father, should be. So my mom tried to play both roles since I was 4, and trying to, get through life as is. Like I said, it's all a challenge, but it's all good. Just gotta keep the faith and keep it moving. That's really it. So.
Mm. Word, man.